All right, fine. Let's have a go at question 3 then. I'm going to put question 3 on the bottom here. So question 3, again, nice and straightforward. Find the least squares regression line for, and it's given in the form y bar is equal to, y hat, the estimator for y, is equal to a plus b times x. Okay, so again, we can jump into our formula sheets if we're not sure of the formulas. All right, so let me just quickly jump across. Now the formula sheets for this one are actually on the last page of the statistics section. So it's quite a lot of pages, but it's this one here with correlation and regression. Okay, so you see that is on page 4. Okay, this has kind of got everything that you need there. So you see the second set of formulas says least squares regression line for y bar is equal to y hat is equal to a plus b times x. Okay, so you notice that a and b are just the coefficients. It's just, sorry, not coefficients, they're just the parameters for the gradient and also the y-intercept. Okay, so let's go ahead and calculate those first of all. So we're told that b is equal to sxy divided by syy. Sorry, sxx, my mistake. Thank you. And we're told that a is equal to y bar minus b times x bar. Okay. Now you notice that we've got these formulas here. They are kind of a bit of an abbreviation, right? So if you scroll up towards the top, in fact you can see them there at the top of the screen, you can see that sxx and sxy are there. Okay. So I think it makes sense to calculate both of these things first. We find b, you notice a has already got b in there, okay? So we need to then use that in there, okay? So start over here on the left-hand side. All right, so let's do that. Let me just quickly pull up the values again. So here, how much work can you put down? Honestly, I would first of all start by writing the formulas. Then I would go through and just show me that you understand how to calculate each part. But obviously, don't waste loads of time giving me loads and loads of numbers. I just want to see that you understand what you're doing, okay? So this is going to be the sum of x times y minus, is it n?
It should be.
Yep. N times by x bar times y bar. Now clearly here we've already got x bar from above. We did calculate y bar as part of this formula, but it might be worth just sticking it down over here on the right hand side again, what y bar is equal to. So y bar was our 141 divided by 8. So Chan, did you get an answer for that one? 17.625. I'll call that 63. That seems reasonable to me. Okay, so we've got x bar, we've got y bar, we've got sum of x times y in the question, so I think we're in a position where we can just calculate that directly. Okay, so sum of xy is our 251. We're then going to minus 8 times by x bar, which we found as 2.225, times by our y bar, which was our 17.63. Okay, minus 62.73 was that?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Okay, so that's the formulas, or that's how much working I'll give for that. Sum of x times x. I'm running out of space a little bit, so let's see if we can squeeze this in. This is going to be the sum of x squared, which we've got, minus n times by x bar all squared, like so. So if we stick those formulas in, okay, well we've got sum of x squared. I'm not actually going to write the values. Oh, actually, I could. So sum of x squared is going to be 47.94. We're told that in the question. Then we're going to minus 8, because that's n, times by x bar all squared. So that's 2.225. 2.225 all squared. So again, when you're ready, 8.34. Perfect. So 8.34. Nice. Okay. Now what we can do is just jump over here on the right hand side. We can find b directly. Okay, so b is going to be equal to our sxy, which was our negative 62.73, divided by our sxx, which we found as 8.34, 7.52. Good. Now just remind me, what does the b correspond to, our gradient or our y-intercept? It's the gradient, perfect. So the fact that we've got a gradient of about -8-ish, right, tells us that every time we move 1 across in the x direction, we're going to move 8 down in the y direction. That's what we're predicting. Okay, so it's worthwhile just keeping that in the back of your mind, seeing if that makes sense. Does our y values tend to decrease as our x values increase? Looking at our data, yeah, I think that makes sense, right? So again, just a little check that you can use by just doing that. If that comes out as positive, then clearly we've got a problem. All right. Okay, let's have a look at A then. So A is nice and easy again. Y bar, which was our 17.63, minus B, which we've just found, so that's going to become plus 7.52, because of course double negative, times by our x bar, which was up here, so times by the 17.63 that we found. Okay, so what do we get there? 34.38. Now just remind me, what part of the line does this correspond to, this 34.38? How would you describe it? Yes, the y-intercept, perfect. So in other words, if x was 0, this is what we're expecting. Again, just looking at our data, well look, we've got a value that's pretty close to 0. We've got x is equal to 0.6, and we found that y is about 30-ish. So it makes sense that if we go a little bit back, right, a little bit backwards, we're expecting it to be about half of that, right? So it's about 4 backwards. So that makes sense, right? So it's looking good.
I just want to make,
Yeah.
just for your notation, you put 17.63 twice. Penultimate 9.
That's very true.
The answer's right, I think.
Yeah, because I think you did it right. So it's y bar minus b times x bar. Yeah, that should be 2.225. I put the y bar again. Yeah, thank you. I think you use your working. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, so it should be x bar there. So I wrote y bar again. Okay, and then all you would need to do is just put this together. Okay, now just reminds me, why do we put a hat over our y? Whenever you see a hat in statistics, or at least this course, what does that mean?
Estimated.
Good, fantastic. So you're estimating something. You don't know what the actual value is, you're just trying to estimate it, which is exactly what we're doing here. Then just put it all together. So it's our y-intercept, which is about 34-ish, so 34.38, plus our b, so that's going to become minus. That's terrible. So minus 7.52 times by x, that will be our final answer. Okay. Now, it is worth 4 marks. Given that this will be an open book exam, I am expecting you to do these calculations a little bit more quickly, a little bit more reliable. So I suggested, for example, putting a spreadsheet together that will do these things for you automatically, right? So literally just plug your x variables, your y variables in, and then everything gets calculated automatically, okay? That I think is the easiest way. If you're going to do that, however, just show me that you know how to calculate each of the formulas themselves, rather than just sticking it into your spreadsheet, okay? So maybe just write down the formulas, and then it's fine just to put the answers underneath, okay? Just so I'm happy that I can see what you're doing.
No need to write all the steps.
So this is kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, I would just basically write the formulas first of all, show me that you understand what you're doing and how you're calculating it, and then it's fine just to put the numbers underneath if you're using some kind of automated program. Of course, if you know how to use your calculator properly, there is a stats mode that will calculate a lot of these answers automatically for you as well.
Really?
So yeah.
Yeah.
So again, if you're using some automated program, that is fine. Just make sure that you write enough working down to prove to me that you understand what you are doing rather than just sticking numbers into a calculator. Okay.